This is a video for how to go about creating IsoCircles in AutoCAD. You will notice that I have a basic two-dimensional grid, and I want to go in and change this to an isometric grid. So I'm going to right-click and go to my snap settings. And I want to come in here, and right now we are just in rectangular snap. I want to go to an isometric snap. And we have our Y spacing at 1 at each spot, and I'm going to go ahead and keep my major line at 1. If you'd like to change yours to reflect this, go ahead. And when I say OK, you're going to notice that I am in the isometric isoplane right, and I can flip that to being a left side isoplane. I can flip that again to being the top isoplane. I can hold down a control and hit E and change the cursor. A lot of different things I can do for how we're going to go about sketching. I'm going to stay on isoplane top for right now, and in order to sketch a circle on this isoplane, if I went up just a circle, it's going to give me just that two-dimensional circle, which is not a sketch on an isometric plane. So in order for us to do that, we're going to type the word ellipse, and we're going to hit enter. And you'll see down here in the command bar, there's arc, center, and something that says IsoCircles. So you can just hit the letter I and hit enter. And as we come out and click on one of our snaps, I'm going to click and drag out, and you'll notice that we get ourselves an isometric circle on that plane. This is an IsoCircle. So it's going to ask me for a value, and I'm going to click. And that right there is just one IsoCircle that's on the top plane. If I was to switch to isoplane left, I'm going to go back and type in ellipse and hit enter, and I'm going to hit I for IsoCircle and hit enter, and here we are right back out, and I can sketch, and I now have myself a circle on that plane. Let's go ahead and do one on isoplane right. We'll come back into here, we'll go to ellipse, we'll hit enter, hit I again, and as I drag out, I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a circle on that isoplane. Think if we had for ourselves, a cube, and we would draw a circle inside of each one of them. This is a way to go about drawing circles that are just on different planes. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight all these and press delete. One thing we'll go through and we'll do is I'm going to sketch for myself on the we're going to go to isoplane top. I'm going to grab a hold of my line command, and I just want to draw for myself just kind of a real simple rectangle. And while we're on the top view here, we're going to go ahead and do an IsoCircle. So I'm going to go to ellipse again. I'm going to type ellipse and hit enter, and I'm going to hit I for IsoCircle and hit enter. I'm just going to say, somewhere along here, it's only snapping to my end points, and I want to find the midpoint. Let's come down here to our snap settings. I'm going to right click, and we're going to we're going to right click over here on this square, and we're going to go up to midpoint. We want the midpoint snap, and you'll see that little triangle right there is our midpoint. I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag out. Notice that we're still in IsoCircle, and I'm going to click in the middle and kind of drag out until I get to this snap out here. And if I wanted to keep this, this kind of shape, tangent, if you will, to this edge, I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard, and we're going to grab a hold of the trim command, and I want to get rid of just what's in here and then what's in this area here. And we now have ourselves a nice little, elliptical shape, that kind of little half circle that we were able to sketch on this object. Another thing we can do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip to isoplane right. Let's type ellipse again and hit enter, hit I and hit enter. And along here, I'm going to draw for myself an IsoCircle. It just goes right along here. I'm going to go back up to trim, and we're going to get rid of just this part and this part right here. And it's kind of cool to see how we can create these IsoCircles on different planes for different purposes. We could even eventually get into the tangent constraint in this video and draw a line straight down, make these things come out and meet each other. We could, also say, let's just flip to, isoplane left, and I'm going to type ellipse again and hit I and hit enter, and maybe I could get myself just some kind of an ellipse kind of down through here, just to give you an idea of, everything that we can do in AutoCAD. Grab that trim command. Going to trim off here on the side where it says a little ellipse over here on the side. We could put a little line in here if we used our tangent constraint, cut some things off. A lot of neat things you can do with IsoCircles. But, if I only had, the orthographic view open, if I want to go to ISO draft, how are you wanting to draw? And I hit O for orthographic, it's going to go right back to giving me the normal cursor, and this is the kind of circle that I would get. IsoCircles allow us to sketch on these isoplanes, and there's 3 isoplanes left, top and right. So this has been a video for how to go about setting up your isometric grid settings, and also on how to go about sketching IsoCircles in AutoCAD.